I'm Ash from BA Empire. So coming up to my friends, probably the easiest because I came out technically on the internet to my friends, and this was like after I told my dad, which that was the hardest thing for me. My mom could hear from one of my siblings them with it on my Facebook or whatever. But anyways, coming out to my dad was hard for me because I've always been close to my dad, and my father, my rock, yeah, my A1. So, anyways, we were walking to the bus stop because I went to visit him, and we were walking and we were talking. At the time, my partner at the time and I were having some issues, and I wanted to ask him or talk to him about it because he tend to give me like advice on things, various things in my life. So at the time, I couldn't because my partner at the time is not a he that you would expect me to be talking about. It's a she. So, long story short, I'm telling him I have something to tell him, and he said, okay. And I was just like, remember when I did tell you I have a boyfriend? And I was like, no, you say you can like change me from talk to him and whatever. So I told him that I like girls. And his reply was one of the sweetest, and it was unexpected. Cause listen, anybody who know my father, hardcore, beaten, you do nothing, you get your ass bust type of father. So when he said like him hugged me and then him said, always gonna be me and you against the world, it was just so, yeah, it was emotional and it was touching, and then him hugged me and he said nothing me can do will ever make him love me less. So yeah, that's me coming out to my dad. To my friend, my best friend knew, my girl best friend knew from the jump, because like when I started like developing these things and like how it was initiated to me for even spark an interest, she was there from the get, you know. Best friend supportive, but my girl best friend, me could have want to jump up on her roof. As long as it not kill me, she go say, do you please? Support, right this so, backbone. My boy best friend, on the other hand, when I was telling this boy, this boy was like, I knew it. Yeah, for like other people's, like it depends, like it varies. Like if it's people that I grew up like watching and like people that I look up to, like elders, I still have people asking me. So I don't feel like I fully came out, because people will ask me and I'll just sometimes deny it because I don't feel like it's none of your business. And then especially if it's like an elder, you know, the old people them, and you know them fixated in them ways. I wouldn't say I fully come out. I'm gonna do me regardless of what anybody thinks or wanna say, because my biggest obstacle was actually saying it to my dad. Even though, you know, different people take things differently. Where him we say him support me no matter what, whatever. But still, here and there, must say, you know, so that guy that like your arm, you know, one of my friends them saying like your arm. That guy there would have fit you nice, you know them look weird, they like him still have a rare hope, you know.
Hi everyone, my name is Shannon.
And I am Shanika.
And together we are Zchanz. So we were asked by Tony and Tiana, how did our co-workers, friends and family respond to us coming out? So we're basically going to share our experience. I guess I'll go first. So for me, coming out to me is a constant process, because we come out to different persons at different times in our lives. So for instance, with my family, I came out to my mom in about 2019. At that time we were dating, so you know, it wasn't really like my choice to come out. My niece actually told my mom about my girlfriend and she was furious, so I decided, okay, it's time to actually talk about it. So I've been delaying it because I just knew how she would respond because she's in the church. When I actually told her about it, she was furious, she was angry, she didn't understand it. She could see that we were together and she could see that we were happy, but she just doesn't like it because I'm not with a man. And growing up in Jamaica, being a lesbian or liking someone of the same sex or just going off the gender norms of what's expected from you is frowned upon, and it's not embraced openly in our culture. So to this day, my mother and I, we don't have the same relationship that we had before, because when I actually told her about it, it caused her to react a certain way. And I explained to her that my peace is more important and that I'm happy. And she sees that I'm happy, but she doesn't like the fact that I'm with a woman. And, that's just prejudice. But on the other hand, when I came out to my friends, most of my friends, you don't really have to come out. They might know, but when you actually tell them, it's different to say, okay, yeah, they do know. So, they know about my girlfriend, Shanika, and they are accepting because persons of the same age group are more accepting rather than persons of the older age group. Yeah, they're more open and they would actually see it happening, and it's like the norm. Yeah. With my family, my grandmother is accepting, she knows Shanika and she accepts her, she loves her. My dad, I have not come out to him per se because I kind of know how the reaction will be. But because I came out to my mother, she told my father, so he basically knows. And I know that he's angry, he has questions, he doesn't understand it, but we haven't had a conversation about it as yet. My mother and I, we have conversations all the time. I explain it to her, I explain, the relationship, how I feel, but she still doesn't think that it's a valid relationship, so she's still angry about it. So the relationship that I have with my family, it's not as close as it was before, but with friends, it's easier because they accept you for who you are. So that's basically it for me.
For me, I have to talk about my parents on two sides because they are not together and they live, separate lives. Of course, my mother now, we were raised in a Christian home. My mother was more accepting, or is more accepting, and she accepted it from the onset of time. And my father now, who is more Americanized, and that family is, more open. My father wasn't, so accepting. So it was kind of, opposite right there. But I can talk about my mother. I can start with her first. I came out to my mother 1 year after Shannon and I were together. And that was in 2018. And when I came out to my mother, I just thought it was very important for me to let her know, because we had a really good relationship. We have a really good relationship. And I wanted her to know, just everything about me. And I didn't want to hide, just any part of me. So I let her know. And it wasn't easy. That was very hard for me. And when it happened, she basically, she said she knew this whole time, and basically she was waiting for me to, just come to her and let her know exactly what is up. She was just, giving me time because she knew it would have happened. But, that is that. And my mother's family now, the younger set, I haven't really gone to them and say, hey, I'm a lesbian, or hey, this is my girlfriend. But they do know that Shannon and I are together. We don't talk about it because, as we said earlier, they're more open and accepting. So it would have just seemed like we're just a normal couple to them. the older set now, like my grandfather on my mother's side and my mother, grandparents, aunties, yeah, I don't see it being that important to let them know, especially knowing that I will be judged for it. I haven't told them about it because I don't see it as, that important. I think the persons who should know are the ones who know. And yeah, that's that on my mother's side. But for my dad, when I came out, I didn't really come out to my dad either. When Shannon was saying earlier, my aunts know on my father's side, and my grandmother on my father's side. Basically, everybody on my father's side, they know. And because they've been Americanized, they're used to homosexual relationship, and they're accepting of it. And they know Shannon, they love her, they talk with her, they've met her. And my dad now, he lives in England, so Shannon didn't meet him until 2019, was it 2019 or 2018 that you met? Yeah, she met my dad, but at that time my father didn't know that I was a lesbian. And when my father found out, it was my aunt that told him about it. Just they were casually talking, and my aunt thought that he already knew about it, and he was furious. He called me immediately. It was a Sunday morning, early in the morning, and he just called to vent. And basically what he was saying during the conversation was that he knew that I was going through a phase, and that he wasn't the same person that he is now. He wasn't that person 10 years ago. So he's saying that over time I will change, or my feelings towards people will change, and he's willing to accept that I'm going through a phase, but it's really not a phase. And what had happened is that after that we kind of lost connection, lost touch, and we didn't speak to each other for like 2 months. I didn't know how to talk to him, how to approach it, the situation, what to do. So then I wrote a song about it. About it, and I sent the song to him, and he listened to the song, and he came back to me and saying basically he wanted to know exactly about the homosexual world and everything. He was more open at that time, not saying that he accepted it, but he was saying that he didn't want to lose me because of it. He didn't want to lose the relationship that we had just because, So, and now today, years after we've gone through that, he is now open. I would say he has accepted it. He knows Shannon. He has spoken to her several times. And whenever I do message or call him, I always say, you love Shannon for me. You just love how we look, how happy we are, and all of them something. So, with just time and knowledge, each person can open up and grow to love and know everything about, the lifestyle that we have, and more accepting of it. About my friends, I only do have like a handful of friends. So all my friends, they do know that I am a lesbian. They do know Shannon. They know that we live together and everything. Co-workers know. I don't see it important for them to know, especially because we're femmes. So it's not like we dress a certain way, or we identify as other things, so it would appear otherwise to other people. So they're more curious, I would say. But because we're just femmes, nobody don't really pay attention to those things. I don't really openly talk about my relationship, so I don't see it important to just tell any of them that if I have a close relationship with a given co-worker, then fine, they may know of my sexuality, but otherwise I don't see it important. So half of my co-workers, I would say, or 3/4, I would say, don't know about my sexuality.
You basically choose your own family, and I'm a strong believer in that. So if you find persons who accept you and love you, they are basically your family.
That's true.